Good news! Since the last video, I drank another coffee. So last video, I also promised you that we'd talk about more powerful uses of variables. And in this video, we're going to see some ways in which we can modify variables using some things that we're going to call the arithmetic operators. Now, you already know a few of them. You know about half of them. The other ones are programming specific, and we're going to see those in this video as well. So the four that you already know, you might know as plus, minus, divides, and multiply. These are arithmetic operations. You use them in arithmetic, and you've used them pretty much throughout your life up to this point. And we're going to be using them in this class as well as sort of basic ways to interact with changing variables or reassigning variables. For example, if I model the workflow of my coffee drinking this evening, you'll notice that it's kind of steadily increased by a factor of 1. So let's go back in time. So at the point at which I had drank 4 coffees gets 4. However, if I want to update it by 1, the code I might use to do that would look something like coffees gets coffees plus 1. So here now I have coffees, originally 4, gets 4, its original value, plus 1 more, and then gets reassigned the outcome of that operation, so 5. This works the same way with other arithmetic operators, such as the minus, the divides, and the multiply. So we can use these in order to, again, recontextualize, update, to manipulate our variables that we have already assigned, or as I will now start to use the term, declared. For example, the line that I'm highlighting over to my right, when we do that, coffees gets 4, we are actually declaring and setting a value to the variable, especially if, and only if, this is the first time that we have used it. If we consider this the only world of our program, the first line that we see there does both of those things. It actually declares the variable, gives it a name, and says it gets a value. Later on when we use it, we're not declaring it again. We're just saying take its original value. It now gets the outcome of the operation of its original value plus 1. All right, now let's complicate things just a little bit more. We're going to use the add, subtract, multiply, divide vocabulary that we've been using up to this point and just add a little bit to it. In fact, add 1 character. Over on my right, you'll see what I mean. We're introducing now the add assign, subtract assign, multiply assign, and divide assign arithmetic operators, which sort of take the place of things that we've already seen. They're just shorthand. They make things just a little easier to read. Over at my right, here's our original program from the beginning of this video. Coffees gets 4, coffees gets coffees plus 1. Take that second line and let's substitute in the appropriate arithmetic operator now that we know about something like add assign. And you get this. That second line changes. It's functionally equivalent to coffees gets coffees plus 1, but in this case, it's a little bit more shorthand. Let's give you a crack at it. Correct. However, if we were actually being completely accurate about how much coffee I drink a day, we might actually use this equation. Tired? Wired? Well, we've already learned a lot about variables, so to the brighter side, you know how to assign a variable, you know what it looks like to increment or add to or modify a variable. You learned a little bit more about what a variable is. In the next couple of videos, we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about how to use them, what they can contain, and some vocabulary around them.